Hey, it's good. I'm doing a discussion video for you guys on the tech choices that I had showed in the short and one of my recent shorts. So I wanted to explain further on why I chose these for tech choices. So yeah. So this one, creatures your opponent controls have base toughness 1, which combines really well with Plague Mare. Plague Mare says when it enters, creatures your opponent controls get -1/-1. So if their toughness is 1, then your opponent count or board wiping their whole field, which is really quite good. And then the other thing is that if you have trample on the field, which depending on which commander you have, if you run Kenrith, you can give all your horses trample. Then if they block, then they're going to take a crap ton of damage. So that's the other thing that makes this really quite good. Even though it's like a 5 cost, but it's still really quite good for what it is. So yeah. And then this one, there's 6 that I'll be going through just like in the short. So this one, prowess. Our creatures you control have prowess. And then where you cast a non-creature spell, target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. So basically what you can do with this is if you have a non-creature spell heavy horse variant, which you can technically do, just run a lot of protection spells and stuff like that. And, you can basically get this to go off pretty easily and make your whole horses unblockable for a turn. So, if you have enough spells and enough mana and enough creatures on the field, you could technically take out one person with a whole, or at least maybe 1 to 2 people with a whole field, if you make them all unblockable. So that is a possibility. So, but that's why I like this one, just because it can be good in horses for that exact reason. So it's not guaranteed, but it can be, doable. So, and then this one. So this goes in line with the video that I have planned for Sunday, which you guys will see. I basically put together back Horsemanship, which is actually, if you saw my community tab post, I bought a new commander for it, which makes it actually pretty busted, or makes this pretty busted. The commander deck itself. But I'll briefly explain what my game plan is for this. So there's only like 1, maybe 2 cards that gain life in this deck, in the Horsemanship deck, and I only have 6 non-basic lands in here. Meaning that if you read the last part of the text of the Elemental Cat, it says, when it enters, it deals damage to each player equal to the number of non-basic lands that player controls. So if someone has 6 or 7 non-basic lands, they're taking 6 or 7, maybe 8 damage. While I might have 1 or 2, then I only take 1 or 2 damage. So that's kind of the goal that I have if I run this in any horse variant that I'm not getting life in. Then I can pretty much just play it as another way to burn my opponent. And also, damage cannot be prevented, which if there's any ways of doing that, which there is, and if my opponent has any, then they can't be prevented. So, yeah. So it's just a very good card for several different reasons for different horse variants that I can run this in. So, next up, this. So, basically, he says where he deals common damage to a player, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land. You may cast that card by discarding a card rather than paying its mana cost. The reason why this is insane is that, well, more specifically in horsemanship, a lot of the stuff is 6 mana. If you can just discard a card and cast something for the mana cost, that's really, really crazy. You can be able to cast your 5-6 cost for essentially just discarding a card. So, or even your 4 or 5 cost horses by just discarding a card. It's really, really quite good. So, this is probably just a staple in a few variants of horses for that exact reason. So, yeah, it's bonkers how good that card is. It can be outed, but it's really, really good though. So, Dawn's Truce. So, it has the new mechanic called Gift a Card. You may promise an opponent a gift as you cast the spell. If you do, they draw a card before its other effects. So, you can permanents you control gain Hexproof until end of turn. If the gift was promised, permanents you control also gain Indestructible until end of turn, which is really, really quite good. So it's essentially another protection spell for 2 mana that you can essentially run to protect your permanents. So it's really, really quite good. And then for the final card is this. So it has flash, and then where it enters, you choose one. Target creature and opponent controls get -1/-1, or destroy target creature and opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. So this is a versatile card that you can possibly run in the horse deck, along with maybe the bird and also the Plague or along with Flatline. If I Flatline, and even though I wasn't dealt damage, but I could do the -1/-1 to a target creature. So, and I could even flash that in during my opponent's turn. If something's down low, then I can flash it in and be able to kill it off. So, it's a pretty versatile card for what it is. So, but yeah, that's basically it for the all the cards I have so far for this. So yeah, so thank you for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Alright, there goes.